You're listening to the Bloodshed Baddies.
Hi, I'm Lex,
And I'm Sam.
and we are the Bloodshed Baddies.
Thanks for listening, baddies. Hello, hello, hello.
Sup, everyone?
Hope you're having a better week than we kind of are. It's just one of those weeks.
It was a full moon Sunday.
All explains it 1000%.
Yeah. If you work with children of any kind, of any age, you know that full moon thing is for real talk.
It really is. And I think it affects everyone else too, but like you see it more in children for sure.
Yes. Sam, I need to know what you're wearing because all I can see is weenies and on your shirt.
It says weenies and martinis. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And this was for my friend Allison's bachelorette party. We all got like little matching sweatshirts.
Stop it. So did you guys eat weenies and martini and drink martinis?
Yeah, so Claire grilled up some hot dogs for us, and there is a picture somewhere of me holding a hot dog, and then other people holding martinis.
Weenies and martinis. Okay. So A, do you like weenies?
I like a hot dog at a ballpark. It's very specific. Other than that, I don't need a hot dog.
Little known fact about me. Hot dogs are one of my favorite food in the whole entire world.
You need this shirt.
And I eat so many hot dogs. And we have now had two parties at my house where we have catered different hot dog companies. Um,
People are going to be like, I'm not going there again. All she gets is hot dog.
I also saw a TikTok recently, and it is my new favorite life advice that I will be living by. And it was just a TikTok, and the man said, if you're not eating hot dogs with me, you're eating hot dogs against me.
Okay. Have you said this to Dustin?
Yes.
Was he like, you're crazy, but okay.
Yes. So that's my new motto in life, if anybody's wondering. Okay, question B. Do you like martinis?
I do like a good martini. I like a dirty martini, but no blue cheese stuffed olives. I hate blue cheese.
Okay, so I not a huge fan of martinis, but a good friend of mine, Ashley, shout out Ashley if you're listening,
Hi,
one time
Ashley.
made me martinis with her own blue cheese stuffed olives, and I was like, I can get on board if there's
Ooh.
8 blue cheese stuffed olives in
So
every
just
martini
the
I
blue
drink.
cheese olives.
I'll take
I
a little sip after, like I eat the blue cheese olive and then it's like, but martinis are not my favorite, but blue cheese stuffed olives are my favorite.
I also can throw down, but I always only do like one. An espresso martini
Oh, I
is
can drink espresso martinis. I could drink 10 a night if I wasn't going to be like wild in. I usually limit myself to one or two, otherwise I'll be
yeah.
wild in.
I'm
But
too like jittery and
I have a theory that if there's 3 beans, it's going to be a good espresso martini.
okay, I'm
Two
gonna be looking
beans,
at that theory.
4 beans, it's not going to be as good as when there's 3 beans.
Because not everyone can do an espresso martini the
No,
right way.
there's this bar by my house, which I really, really like. It's like a little sports bar. So not known for its cocktails, right? It's more of like, I go here, I watch sports, play pool. They have darts, they have golden tea. It's more of like a beer drinking establishment. But they had an advertisement for espresso martinis, and I got it, and it was like very, very light brown, like barely brown.
You're like, I'm
And
worried.
I was like, oh, and it was a lot of milk or cream, or I
Ooh.
don't know what. It was interesting. I wouldn't drink it again.
Yeah, I don't love that for you. Icky, icky.
Okay, well, now that we've talked about weenies and martinis and blue cheese olives, would you like to get into your case?
This is a rough one, but here we go. Today's case hits pretty close to home for my Florida people. What up, what up? It is an absolutely horrific case with young people that honestly makes it pretty rough to get through. And to be fully transparent here, I did tear up a few times while I was doing the research for this case. But today I will be telling you about the horrific murder of Tristyn Bailey. Have you heard of this one, Lex?
So when I looked at the spreadsheet, her name doesn't ring a bell, but when I read your summary, the other name rings a bell, but I can't place it in my head at all, so I actually don't know.
Okay, here we go. So Tristyn Bailey was born in 2008 to the parents of Stacy and Forrest Bailey. She was the youngest of five children and was actually born in Singapore, where she spent the first 4 years of her life before they all moved to Florida.
Were they like from Singapore originally, or were they American living in Singapore for a time period?
I believe they're American living in Singapore for a time period.
Got it.
The Bailey family is a very, very close knit family, and we're referred to as the Bailey Seven, which I think is like so cute.
That's the cutest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Adorable. Unfortunately, Tristyn Bailey will only tragically be 13 years old at the time of her murder. So I do think it is important to talk about the fact that even though she was only 13 years old, she really left a lasting impact on those around her and seems like such an incredible person that left just a beautiful mark on every single person that she met. So every article I found that will be linked had the nicest and most beautiful things to say about her. Tristan is described of having such a drive, having spunk and so much kindness. She was also like another daughter to many people in the community. She was the sort of person who gave her classmates the benefit of the doubt and had a particular gift for befriending those who did not fit in. Her principal,
Oh,
I know. Her principal would later say that Tristan's thoughtfulness and her caring made her a light to everybody around her. She loved her cheerful energy and it inspired her every day. One of her sisters said she had the most contagious laugh and the most beautiful smile she's ever seen in her life, and that she was often the center of attention, but in a good way. She just like gravitated people's attention. She was determined and not afraid or apologetic to be who she was. And at 13, that's so challenging and so amazing.
I feel like I wasn't like that till my 30s.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I wish I was like that at 13. So I just really want to stress that she really left her mark on everyone around her and was loved by every single person who knew her. Tristan and her family lived in Northwest St. Johns County, and she was a seventh grade student at Patriot Oaks Academy. Seventh grade. She was a part of the Infinity All Stars cheerleading team and actually traveled.
Oh
I know. She traveled to an ESPN competition in Orlando and took first place. Woo woo.
my gosh, that's so cool.
I know, so amazing. But to get into it, May 9th, 2021 was Mother's Day.
Oh no.
At 10 that morning, and so sadly, Tristan's mother couldn't find her. And she calls 911 to report her young teen daughter, Tristan, missing.
If this is a case where those police officers are like, she's a runaway, I'm gonna riot.
The night before, Saturday the 8th, the Bailey family returned home from an evening out for a celebration at around 11:45 p.m. Around midnight, she was seen by one of her siblings for the last time. She was supposed to be sleeping in her bedroom. When
Oh
they
my God.
realized Tristan is missing, they call the police, and then the family, along with the neighbors, start searching the neighborhood for her. The police and the Florida Department of Law Enforcement also join the search. And at 4:49 p.m., there is a missing child alert issued for Tristan. So honestly, kind of quickly, you don't have to start a
Yeah.
riot.
Darn, I like a riot.
You will later, I promise.
Okay, good.
Oh gosh. At 6:06 p.m., a resident who is out on a run reports a dead body in the woods east of the cul-de-sac on Saddlestone Drive. Very sadly, quickly, and tragically, they identify it as the body of 13-year-old Tristyn Bailey officially at 8 p.m.
Oh my God. So much happened so quickly.
It happened so quickly. By 8:49 p.m., the police put 14-year-old Aiden Fucci along with his parents in a St. Johns County Sheriff Office interview room. Again, everything's happening so quickly.
Wow. I guess you'll get into it. How did they identify this Aiden Fucci? Who is he? What is his deal? Tell me, Sam.
Well, perfect segue because I'm about to. Unfortunately, Aiden Fucci was a fellow student at Patriot Oaks Academy and lived close to Tristan. Aiden was a troubled boy. because, yes, he was just a boy at the time of the murder. Aiden would draw graphic photos of mutilated bodies.
Oh no.
He also claimed to hear voices in his head when he was angry, allegedly telling him to kill people.
And people knew this?
In interviews with investigators, Aiden's girlfriend, who let me clarify was not Tristyn Bailey, said that he had a fascination with knives and would nickname them picker or poker. He also often carried these
Uh,
knives with him and talks about killing people and would come up from behind his girlfriend and pretend to slit her throat.
and I'm sorry. A, what are the adults doing in this situation?
Well, remember, they are very young, and she said that her and her other friends never took it seriously. Which, if anyone jokes about this kind of stuff, please, please, please take it seriously and tell an adult.
Always take it seriously. There are so many cases we look at where it's like, oh, he joked about murdering somebody to his friends, and they were like, haha, no, normal people don't joke about that shit.
Exactly. Aiden was also allegedly on antidepressants. While the records of minors under the age of 18 are sealed, the state attorney for the Seventh Circuit said Aiden Fucci did not have a prior criminal record.
I don't know anything about his mental history or anything about, I do know that like antidepressants in kids cause a lot of like suicidal stuff. I don't know about homicidal, but like they can alter your thought process when you're that young.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm not saying it makes anybody a killer, but I'm just surprised at 13 that he was already on
He was
antidepressants.
14, and that was in one article that said it came out in court that he was allegedly on it. But again, because he's a minor, those like his medical records and things were sealed.
Got it.
So it is an assumption, but you are right. That would alter a mindset, not making this okay in any way, shape, or form. However, court records did show his father, Jason, was charged with battery in 2016 when he assaulted a man at a gas station after he nearly bumped his son with his car. It's unclear if that was Aiden, but the father was sentenced to 6 months probation and anger management. In
So it's a
2003,
possibility if this was Aiden that he watched his dad beat the shit out of somebody.
yes,
So thinks violence is a normal reaction.
yes. In 2003, the dad, Jason, also had some issues with the law, some different issues. But since this isn't about him, I didn't want to get too much into it. It just not such a great person there.
So maybe that's why we didn't have super big red flags about your child's behavior.
On May 10th, 2021, one day after Tristyn was reported missing, 14-year-old Aiden is officially arrested. I believe first he was arrested on second-degree murder charges, but it was soon switched to first-degree murder charges once investigated.
Wow.
So, through the investigation, it was found that on the night of May 8th, Aiden asked a friend for Tristyn's number. So they weren't even like
They
texting all
weren't
the
good
time.
enough friends to have each other's numbers.
Correct. Being such a dumb idiot boy, he convinces her to leave her house and meet him at a friend's house, which we all have been there sneaking out. I feel like it's part of growing up.
Yeah, I'm just disappointed that it's normal behavior, but it ended in tragedy for this particular instance.
So there is video footage that shows the two of them, Tristyn and Aiden, walking east on Saddlestone Drive near where her body was found, which was near the end of a retention pond. Chillingly, an hour and 45 minutes later, the same video footage shows Aiden walking alone, carrying his shoes,
Hearing his shoes?
which is just awful and sad and creepy.
I don't like that.
In his arrest report, Aiden said he was with Tristyn at a friend's house and left with her at 1:10 a.m. May 9th. And then he apparently just walked around a while until he got to his home at 3:30 a.m.
But they have this video footage.
Correct.
So they're like, nah, fam.
Yes, that and an investigator also said that he kept changing his story around. He also ended up telling investigators that they got into a fight and he pushed her to the ground, striking her head. But we will find out how much darker it really was. Now, this is a lot. Warning. An autopsy revealed that Tristan had been stabbed 114 times.
What the fuck?
Let that sink in. 14-year-old Aiden Fucci stabbed 13-year-old Tristyn Bailey 114 times.
That's 114 chances to stop what the fuck you're doing.
She was
That's a
stabbed over
114 times that you made the decision to keep stabbing.
exactly, over and over and over again. The wounds were on her head, neck, shoulders,
Her
arms, and back.
head, he stabbed her in. I, oh my God. Also, the physical exertion it must take to stab somebody 114 times. Like that motion 114 times. And the head is not soft. That's not like a soft fucking place for your knife to go in and out easily.
Nope. And according to an unredacted warrant affidavit released by the state attorney, according to the medical examiner, at least 49 of the wounds were defensive wounds.
So she was alive for a lot of this.
And she fought, and he sucks so, so bad.
Holy shit.
Also, so disgustingly, it truly is unclear why Tristyn was that someone that he took into the woods. But Aiden's girlfriend and other friends of his also told investigators that he often talks about killing people and specifically said he planned to drag a random person into the woods and stab them, and he did just that.
I understand that these are 13 and 14-year-olds. I get it. Your brain's not developed, but if someone told me that, I don't care what age I was, I would be like, "What?" And I was a little narc, so I probably would have went and told my mom.
Which is what though everyone should do. Like,
Yes, you should be a
yeah,
narc.
yeah,
It wasn't
you
a bad
in a
thing I was a
case
narc.
like no, not at all. In a case like that, tell your mom, tell the teacher, tell the principal, tell somebody. That's not normal. Also, and this is so sick, during the search for Tristyn while she was missing, an investigator noticed or was shown Snapchats from Aiden's phone. I believe there was two. One was a picture and one was a video. But the snaps are Aiden showing himself in the back seat of a patrol car.
How does he have access to his phone in the back of the patrol car?
In the photo, he is taking a selfie through the window of the car and holding up a peace sign.
No, this
The
little fucker, what I would do to this little fucker if I saw him.
the caption read, "Hey guys, has anybody seen Tristyn lately?"
Oh, are you fucking kidding? I am. Oh my God. Samantha. Oh my God.
I have chills. He also posted a video in the back of the car. Basically, he said, having fun in an effing cop car and appears to be with a friend.
Okay. I don't like to throw around the word narcissism a lot because I think people have narcissistic tendencies, but they're not true narcissists. But we believe everybody's a narcissist now, thanks to the internet. And I feel like there's very, very few real life narcissists. This guy is a fucking real life narcissist.
I
You cannot
1000%
have
agree.
any sort of empathy for anybody else if this is how you're react. This is, I think this might be the most wildest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Also, I definitely have not heard this case now because I would remember this.
Yep. And either the photo or the video, someone responded because they have those records to it. And they said, "You were with her, Aiden. You know what happened to her." Now, Lex, this is also absolutely insane bonkers.
Oh
And
no.
in my bones, I feel like you are about to freak out at what I
I've already
am
done
about
a
to say.
lot. Okay, I'm ready.
After Tristan went missing, according to an arrest warrant from the sheriff's office, deputies interviewed Aiden with his mother present at their residence on May 9th, 2021. After this interview, Aiden voluntarily left the residence with deputies, and then video surveillance at the Fucci home captured Aiden's mother, Crystal Lane Smith, taking a pair of jeans from his room into the adjacent bathroom. And the video shows her
Oh,
scrubbing bloody jeans and showing it to another woman who was her friend whose name was not released. At this point, the mother allegedly did not know what happened to Tristyn. So the police come and talk to her son. The son leaves with the police. She goes into his hamper, grabs a pair of bloody jeans, and starts scrubbing them.
okay. My first question, my first, absolute first question is how did you know the bloody jeans were in there? Did you see him come in with bloody jeans? Did he say, like, Mom, on his way out, like, hey, I got a pair of bloody jeans? get rid of it? Did you say, I'm going to go look for evidence myself? How did you find these bloody jeans? Two, why the fuck are you touching them? I don't care if it's your son. Three, you just like show them casually to your friend who's over. You're like, look at my son's bloody ass jeans. Like, I don't care if you knew what happened or not. You show your friend?
And then scrub them to try to get rid of the evidence because you know darn well if you're scrubbing them, you know that there's some evidence there. And it's chilling.
Like,
There's a video of it.
I'm sorry, you dumb bitch. I'm glad you're dumb bitch because it's on video. But also, like, you're like gonna scrub them and try to make them clean. Like, if I was a bad person, I just like throw them bitches in a dumpster, throw them in a lake, like, get rid of them altogether. But okay, whatever. Glad you're done. Glad it's on video. Glad you're all a bunch of fucking idiots.
So his mother ends up being arrested on a charge of tampering with evidence in the case, which good.
Good. I hope that whole family ends up in jail together. They can have a little family powwow in jail.
This third degree felony is punishable by up to 5 years in prison, according to Florida statutes. But Crystal ends up pleading no contest, which means the defendant neither disputes nor admits to the charges, but allows the court to treat the plea as a criminal conviction. But she pleads no contest to tampering with evidence in a negotiated agreement, and she was sentenced to only 30 days in jail and then given 5 years of probation.
Probation?
At the sentencing, Tristan's mother addressed her directly and said, quote, I will also pray that you will reflect upon your actions while you are without your children on this Mother's Day, quote, which I thought was a mic drop.
Oh, that is a mic drop. And to be that put together on something that is like currently happening to you.
Now on to Aiden's court case. During his first court appearance hearing, the judge ruled that Aiden Fucci be held without bail at an adult facility in St. Johns County.
Yes. Go
He was
fucking judge, go.
agreed. He was being held on first degree murder charges at this point because of the brutality of the crime and the clear premeditation. And it was also decided he would be tried as an adult, which is why they sent him to that adult facility.
That's amazing. You want to make adult decisions? Like killing somebody, you can have adult fucking consequences.
There was a lot of evidence against him. There was a buck knife that was identified as Aiden's found in the pond near the body, which this is a lot, also matched a fragment that was lodged into Tristan's head.
Okay. I mean, okay.
There was also the security footage and the DNA evidence. Don't forget, in the home was the bloody clothing. His shoes he was carrying were wet, and they got the wet shoes. And then the drain was in evidence as well, where his mom washed those clothes.
It is wild to me that this human being stabbed somebody 114 times while she was alive for at least 50 of them, probably more, and made this person the most uncomfortable person ever until they died. And then was like, my shoes are a little soggy. I gotta carry them home. I'm comfortable.
Yep.
That's what makes you uncomfortable? Not stabbing somebody 114 times and watching them fight for their lives in front of you?
There was also an empty knife sheath found in the room and a notebook with extremely violent drawings. His cell phone records with the Snapchats were used in his recorded phone calls and texts from jail and interviews with friends, family, teachers, and fellow inmates. All could be used as further evidence in the case. Although the trial was expected to last a few weeks, right before jury selection, there was a delay. Court was supposed to start at 8:30 a.m., but didn't start until a little bit later because Aiden decided to change his plea to guilty.
Good.
He also said a quote unquote apology that day, which was
Ew.
it was so short, and he basically just said, I'm sorry to the Bailey family and my family as well.
Oh, cool. Y'all sound it. You sound so sorry.
But with the guilty plea, the Bailey family now does not have to go through a trial. They set the sentence for February 23rd, 2023, where the judge will decide the sentencing decision there.
This is so recent. I can't believe I've never heard of this.
So recent. The sentence hearing lasts 2 days, and at the sentencing, family impact statements were read. Letters from Aiden, his mom, and his biological dad were written and read aloud. And I added the link if you're curious yourself, but I don't want to read them on here. I just don't think it's the place to do that. I feel for the
Yeah.
parents because, of course, no one expected their son to do this, but I just don't feel right reading the letters here, so I'm not going to. But I just don't feel right reading the letters here, so I'm not going to.
Also, don't tell me you didn't expect your son to do this if you immediately went and washed his fucking jeans.
The only member to get on the stand from the Fucci family was Aiden's grandmother, and she apologized for his actions. Tristyn's dad actually responded with, quote, "Your apology on the stand really touched us. It was the first time anyone in your family acknowledged it, and we feel for you as we can tell how much you are hurting."
Oh, that's nice that they at least got that moment because obviously from his parents, they're not going to get anything like that.
Exactly. Tristyn's family and loved ones have the strength to also get up on the stand and give their statements as well. This gives me chills so much, but her incredible sister was the first to take the stand. And she took out 114 marbles in a glass vase. She sat there and put all 114 of them in a glass vase, one at a
Oh,
time, showing everyone there how many times that he stabbed her sister.
oh, go off, girl. I would have never been able to think of something that meaningful and impactful.
Every loved one after added a heart-shaped stone to the vase to show the part of them that also died when he took Tristyn from them.
Oh man.
I know.
Oh.
Sorry, baddies. That's terribly sad. They also talk about the extreme loss they feel and how incredible she was and the impact that she had on them. And that's literally where I teared up every time I write it or read it. It's just devastating. Finally, on March 24th, Judge R. Lee Smith sentenced Aiden to life in prison. Although he was charged as an adult with first-degree murder due to being a juvenile, he was not eligible for the death penalty. I guess after serving 25 years of a life term, the judge can review the possibility of a lighter sentence according to the Florida law, but to me that seems doubtful because the judge said, quote, "This was not done out of greed. It was not done in retaliation or retribution or revenge. It was not a crime of passion. It was not a crime that was committed because he felt rejected by her. It was not done in a fit of uncontrollable anger. There was no reason. There was no purpose. It was done for no other reason than to satisfy this defendant's internal desire to feel what it was like to kill someone. This leads the court to the conclusion that there's only one appropriate sentence in this case, which was life."
That's incredible. And he's so right. This is not one of those cases where you're like, oh, well, he is younger and it was this reason. So maybe like he wouldn't be dangerous when he's older. Like, no, this man will be dangerous for the rest of his life because he just decided he wanted to do this one day and was like, I'm actually going to do it.
And at 14, which is just so eerie. After the judge handed down the sentence, Forrest Bailey, Tristyn's father, said of Aiden Fucci's family, "Please extend them kindness. They should be given grace for the pain they're going through. They should not be given additional hardship," which again is just so
These
incredible.
these people are like legitimately the best people in the whole world.
This family is amazing.
I could not have this much empathy towards the woman who tried to cover up my daughter's murderer's bloody pants.
After his sentencing, Aiden was transferred to the Swanee Correctional Institution in Live Oak, which I've camped near there before very recently.
Really?
Eek. Aiden, though, is being Aiden in jail. Sheriff Office incident reports document multiple instances of Aiden being involved in fights, having contraband, bullying inmates out of their commisssionary items, threatening them, and being combative with guards and making threats against them as well.
Good. I hope he keeps that up because he'll never be eligible for parole if he has all those infractions. I hope he never stops.
I guess he has had to be pepper sprayed and restrained on more than one occasion.
Ha ha ha. That makes me so incredibly happy. I wish I could watch. Can we get the footage of that, please?
Yes. And another inmate also said that Aiden said he was quote unquote real because he stabbed a girl in the face, unlike other people who shot someone. So he's just a real big loser, and he's exactly where he belongs.
I hope he gets pepper sprayed 114 more times before he
Oh,
dies.
fudge, yeah. Yes. As always, I need to end on a somewhat better note, but at Tristyn's memorial service, Forrest Bailey, her dad, said if there was one thing he could ask of people, it was that when times are tough, they might remember the example his daughter set. He said, quote, "When things get difficult and challenging, I want you to hear one more voice in your head and hear her cheering you on." Quote. So I hope everyone listening to this, I know It's so
This
sad.
case has got like really got me.
So I hope everyone listening to this remembers that and the beautiful legacy that Tristyn left behind. And that is the terribly sad, senseless murder of the incredible Tristyn Bailey.
Ooh, this one really got me.
I cried multiple times doing research for this. It is so sad, just all around. They're both very young. Her family, super close knit, and the way that they look at it and the way that they have empathy, like you were saying, is I
There
don't know
needs
if
to
I
be
could be
more
like that.
people like Tristyn and her family in this world because that's what makes me believe that like humans are good people and we do care and oh man. Whew.
It was a rough one. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's a rough topic we cover every week, but I think that was
True.
just a little bit more emotional because of her age.
Her age and her close family bond, and just so sad.
And like you said, it's the complete senselessness. I feel like every murder is senseless, really. No one should ever be murdered, ever. But I think our brains like to look for a reason. And
Yeah.
when it's a crime of passion or to get a life insurance policy or because you're angry at somebody, your brain can kind of put it into a compartment and rationalize it. And I think it's also a way of protecting ourselves to be like, oh, as long as I don't make somebody mad, as long as I don't date somebody who has these qualities, but to just be a 13-year-old girl who gets a text from a boy at school and it is so senseless, there's no reason. It kind of breaks down like all of that safety that we feel when we listen to these kind of stories.
I think you're exactly right because it's almost scary to a point where like it was just because he had this fascination and like I'm sure Tristan didn't know about this fascination along with other people that were not in his group of friends and it's just sad and scary.
Also, in light of all the events in California, we are praying for everyone's safety as they evacuate and for all the first responders as they so bravely head first into those fires to help save people. And we also pray for everybody who's lost so much in these past few days.
Beautifully said. I can't even imagine. In our thoughts, in our prayers, I know organizations are flying around social media if you want to help out.
And we'll put a link to the American Red Cross Association in the show notes if you are inclined to donate towards those people who have lost so much. Thank you so much for listening. Please follow us on whatever platform you're listening to, or if you're like feeling real spicy and fun this week, you could go like, I'm gonna go follow them on Spotify, and then I'm gonna follow them on Apple, and then I'm gonna follow them on iHeartRadio, and then I'm gonna
Yay.
follow them on Amazon Music. Just follow us everywhere, like if you really need a minute, including Instagram. Our Instagram is Bloodshed Baddies. And we have a couple really fun case suggestions coming up. So I would really love to keep it rolling. We really like the case suggestions. It a lot of times pushes us into a case we might not have known otherwise. So
Yes.
either DM us on Instagram or send us an email to bloodshedbaddies@gmail.com.
Comment or give us a review or share us on your socials to let us be seen. Don't forget that intro music is made by the incredible cousin Vinny. Tell a friend, tell everybody in the world that you love the Bloodshed Baddies as much as we love you, and tune in next week for a Lex episode.
Bye, baddies.
Love you.